Emotions have become central to our lives because they are largely stimulated by an anxiety-provoking environment. To adapt to this environment, our bodies produce complex responses called emotions. When emotions are too intense, we turn to quick and easy ways to regulate them. Food is one of them. This can lead to an unconscious habit called emotional eating. Emotional eating consists of numbing an uncomfortable emotion by eating some sweet and fatty foods. It gives us the comfort we need, and that's normal. We are emotional creatures, and our emotions sometimes need to be regulated. The problem arises when the food doesn't regulate the emotion. Comfort doesn't come, so we need to eat more palatable food and we plunge into overeating to get relief that barely comes. This eating disorder adds other uncomfortable emotions such as shame, guilt, and low self-esteem, leading to repeated cravings. Emotions then become our enemies, making us overeat, fat, and feel undesirable. Yet our emotions and the resulting food response are a powerful message about life. They deserve our full attention because they can teach us more about our inner and outer worlds. Here are 6 key elements to understand our emotional realm so we can heal from eating challenges. Before we start, please subscribe, click the like button, comment, share to keep this channel going. If you would like to take it a step further, I offer a free ebook about how to heal from emotional eating. To get this ebook, click on the link in the description below. Let me introduce myself. My name is Sébastien Fèvre. I was binge eating and obese for many years and I kicked it for good 10 years ago. Then I became certified in mind-body nutrition coaching. If you would like to know more, I offer a free online appointment to discover your story with food and body. To book a free call, click on the link in the description below. Now, let's begin. Key element number 1, navigating uncomfortable emotions. Apathy, depression, boredom, anxiety, sadness. These emotions are persistent because they require us to focus more on ourselves, loneliness, society, relationships, money, goals, jobs. And because we don't know how to deal with these areas of life, food becomes our refuge. And yet, if you have an eating disorder, it's entirely possible to learn to navigate through an uncomfortable emotion. How can we do this? Firstly, by identifying our toxic food thoughts that create eating disorders, such as food is the enemy, fat in food makes me fat makes me undesirable. Why do this? Because these toxic thoughts prevent us from recognizing our uncomfortable emotions, such as disappointment and fear. Secondly, we identify the areas of life that are causing the problem, because eating challenges are a manifestation of a difficulty in dealing with life experiences and the emotions that result from them. The problem is not food, willpower, or appetite. We are simply emotional creatures who naturally regulate our emotions with food. But when we do this too often, we must learn to find a happy medium in our relationship with food. Learning to be in tune with our emotions is a challenging journey, but the reward is huge. When you reach emotional intelligence, eating issues eventually diminish, with the benefits of improved health, renewed energy, weight regulation, and a clear sense of well-being. Key element number 2, harnessing the mind. To regulate our emotions, you must learn to harness your mind. How can we do this? By not being dominated by our thoughts, by not being a victim of our mood swings, by creating a safe mental space, by learning the lessons of our emotions. Why? Because the mind is a never-ending stream of thoughts and emotions. And you are not your thoughts and emotions. They don't belong to you. Remember this. We have an emotional metabolism just as we have a biological metabolism. Our emotional metabolism is the sum total of our emotional experiences. We are designed to regulate our emotional experiences, process them, assimilate them, digest them, benefit from them, and create a healthy emotional ecosystem that serves us. Our emotions are here for a reason. They reveal an intention that we should either look at closely or from a distance, depending on their importance. A healthy emotional metabolism provides excellent personal skills. It enables us to mobilize our energies, enjoy life, be the creator of our existence, help others, enrich and deepen our personality, feel less pain and suffering, and enjoy better physical and mental health. Key element number 3, emotional environment. We live in troubled collective emotional times. To understand our personal emotions, we must understand our emotional environment, which regulates our emotional metabolism, and each of us regulates the emotional metabolism of the other. Our emotional environment creates stress about money, insecurity, inequality, history, war, weight, body, desirability, the non-stop news that keep us on alert. No wonder we are neurotic and depressed. Emotions are born in our psyche and manifest in our bodies. Some emotional experiences are difficult to deal with. Grief, sadness, anger, abandonment, betrayal, shame, guilt. No one teaches us a liberating way to deal with difficult emotions. We take our first steps inspired by our parents, then we use other tools like food to escape. Although our emotions are caused by our bodies, some emotions are triggered by our nutritional environment. For example, junk food, macronutrients imbalance, skipping meals, exposure to bright lights while eating, poor gut microbiome, medications, and environment. Key element number 4, the life of emotions. In order to regulate our emotions, we need to understand the life of emotions with their personality and evolution as if they were real people. Emotions correspond to the feminine archetype, which means uncontrollable, natural, variable, unpredictable, illogical, interconnected, not always curable, needing to be visible and changeable. Our culture has a masculine tendency to marginalize emotions and doesn't always allow them to be expressed in public out of modesty. Denying our emotions creates alienation, fear, loneliness, and unwanted eating habits. By suppressing the intelligence of the heart, we suppress our inner power, our potential, and our primary skills. Hence, we create a culture of insecurity. But when we give voice to our emotional intelligence, feelings naturally flow through us. They deliver their message, they take us closer to our true self, and they often influence our relationship with food and body in a positive way. Key element number 5, positive emotions versus negative emotions. Negative emotions flow more easily through our system because they are familiar and keep us in a comfortable apathy. We don't have to examine and digest them. This inertia prevents positive emotions from being generated, cultivated, and practiced. This lack of patience and deficit of positive emotions lead us to seek immediate reward through a symbolic substitute, food. If we are surrounded by people who express negative emotions, then we are the product of our environment. We have a natural abundance of positive emotions within us, but we probably suppress them out of convenience, which is counterproductive and makes us unhappy and frustrated. Here are the positive emotions we block: the pursuit of joy, the desire for attraction and pleasure, the search for love in the right place, hope, faith, unconditional happiness, listening to our deepest desires, pushing beyond our invisible limits that we put in our minds. What positive emotion do you want to cultivate? Make a list of the positive emotions you would like to develop. Choose one, and then list the reasons and actions associated with the chosen positive emotion. This little homework assignment will benefit your personal development. Negative emotions make us suffer. No one wants to feel them for very good reasons, but when we avoid them, we miss out on the natural flow of our lives and the positive results of following the natural flow of emotions. Negative emotions are part of life. It is an excellent teacher of life, and we learn a lot from it if we listen to it. And if we avoid negative emotions, they accumulate and circulate in our body. Eventually, they devour us from within because we don't pay attention to them. We somatize our repressed negative emotions, which means they express themselves physically through symptoms, such as unwanted eating challenges. These are the negative emotions we block: feeling stuck, expressing negative emotions in counterproductive ways, not wanting to know more, getting lost in distractions, projecting our emotions onto someone else, running from our shadow. So the more we resist, the more unwanted emotions persist, and the more eating disorders persist. Key element number 6, channeling emotion. The key to opening the door to your emotional realm is to channel the uncomfortable emotion, just as you channel water by creating a pipeline that conveys the flow. It's not a matter of holding back the flow of emotion, but of letting it spread out from you. In this way, you will feel more and more comfortable with this uncomfortable emotion, and you will reduce the frequency of eating disorders that the unwanted emotion is the source of. Here is a technique for embodying and owning an emotion. Let's say you're feeling anxious. Close your eyes and observe the area of your body where the fear is located. Your chest, for example. Take a deep breath and focus on your chest. Breathing into it creates an internal dialogue with fear. Breathe deeply several times until you feel the energy and the flow of the fear circulating in your chest and then in the rest of your body. Finally, repeat the following affirmation: My anxiety is mine, and I take full responsibility for it. As you feel the energy of anxiety throughout your body, let it regulate itself and begin to relax. We love to regulate our emotions through food. It's easy, it's fun. We do it as children. It's an immediate strategy. It's short term. It's not bad except when the habit is too frequent and does us a disservice. Eating is undoubtedly the best way to get immediate relief from a painful emotion. Of course, when this eating habit is repeated, the consequences are weight gain, overeating, binge eating, bulimia, digestive problems, body hate, emotional roller coaster. The key to getting out of this trap is to use methods other than food to regulate our emotions. Easy to say, not easy to do, you may say? Yes, but it's entirely possible if you're willing to learn and put in the practice. You just need to be far-sighted and have a list of activities that will replace a future emotional craving. For example, a physical activity you enjoy: running, walking, swimming, biking, sunbathing, dancing, playing music, singing, being in a good company, calling a friend, doing a charitable activity, joining a community, enjoying nature, looking at art and travel pictures, learning a new skill, eating a healthy diet, meditating, giving and receiving love, playing with your children, walking your dog, writing your emotional journal, taking a scented bath with candles, relaxing music, a good smoothie, and good book, and more. In conclusion, opening up to our emotions, no matter how uncomfortable they are, allows us to grow and reach our true selves. I would love to know, how do you deal with your emotions and emotional eating? Tell me in the comments below. That's all for today. I hope to see you soon. Until then, nourish your life.